Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to our video. Today we are ranking Cartoon Network shows. I don't know why I decided to do this. It was just a thought I had. But before we get into this, remember to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let's do this. So anyway, we're starting off strong with Adventure Time. Adventure Time is S tier. Adventure Time is beautiful. I think the story is so Jake and Finn. I love their story. I did watch the what the for a Beyond Lands, whatever it was called, the HBO show. Amazing, beautiful, maybe cry with Finn and Jake. But this show's amazing. Finn and Jake are great characters. It's funny, first of all. The action is great. The action's like good. It's also like it's a mess. It's like a messed up show. I feel like it was made. I feel like some shows are made like appropriately for kids, but not for kids. Adventure Time was definitely one of those shows. Cause looking back, it could get pretty dark at times with the Lich and all that. The other universe, it was, it was great. The storytelling was amazing. The world building was some of the best world building I think I've ever seen on like One Piece. Adventure Time's just amazing, and Jake is really my goat. We Bear Bears. I only watched a bit of this show. It's alright. It's like B tier. It's calm. It's like chill, relaxed. Like when I watch it, I'm like, it's not super. It's like it has some like nice, funny jokes. It's a cute show. It's alright. There's not like super amazing about it. It's not like S tier, A tier. You'll be blown away. But if you watch it, you'll have like an enjoyable time. Ben 10. This is S tier. Ben 10, one of my favorite cartoons of all time. On a like, I think this is another show with good world building. When I'm saying good world building, good space building. Because over time you learn. I think it serves it perfectly. Because the first show, you learn a lot about like, you know, how the different creatures. Ben learning about how there are aliens other than him, and how there are good ones and bad ones. Alien Force is kind of just like expand that, but realizing there's kind of like these empires in the universe and all that. The third show, Ultimate Alien, is kind of like I would say the combination of what he learned in the first two shows. He already knows about it. He knows about like the supernatural. He knows about the aliens. It's kind of like he his like final that mixed together. And Omniverse, as much as that, it's not the worst. It's not as bad as people say it is, but it's not good. It's like mid. But I think Omniverse like really kind of wraps it all together with like going to space and all that, like going to different, like not all the time, but like going to different planets. You see them, and it just works. Ben 10's amazing. I always wanted Omnitrix as a kid. Ben's a pretty charming character. I think the best series to me was Ultimate Alien Force. The original is really good, and Omniverse is It could be hit or miss. Omniverse definitely had like the best like ending with the well, okay. The alternate universe stuff was the best part in all of Ben 10 Omniverse, and definitely was one of the best arcs. But it's just made. It's funny. Some of the jokes have aged bad, like not terribly, but like they're just not funny. Dweeb got kind of annoying, but Ben 10's just good. I think it's another one of those shows that was made appropriate for kids, but not made by kids or for kids. The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. A tier show. It's funny. It's really funny. Grim, great character. Mandy, kind of annoying. And Billy was my goat. But God, Billy was so stupid. But I loved it. It's a dumb humor show, but it works so well. Chowder. I actually recently rewatched Chowder. It's an A tier show. It's funny. Some people like to hate on Chowder, but it's not bad. Rewatching it, I had a good time. I love the art style is nice. It's like unique. And then I think Schnitzel's a good character. Chowder can get a bit annoying times, but he's fine. And then Mon, I forget, and Truffles, they're alright. Side characters are somewhat lacking for the most part. I think the main highlight definitely is the main characters. If it had better side characters, It was definitely like S tier, but it was lacking a bit. Clarence. If you asked me like a couple years ago, I would have said F tier, worst show. But Clarence kind of grew on me. I honestly put B tier. Looking back on it, it was a bit funnier, like a bit better thought was. Sumo was tweaking out in every episode. Clarence himself kind of just like is the epitome of kids' imagination. And Jeff, or Minecraft Steve, as a lot of people like to call him, he's a bit annoying, but you kind of get where he's coming from. Because I feel like Sumo, Clarence, and Jeff were all like really good representations of three different types of kids. Like all the kids were very like realistic types of kids. Like you had the douchey one to want to be the best, most popular. You had Clarence who was just living his life carefree, not caring. Sumo who was always like tweaking out and energetic, and Jeff who was like really clean and all that. It's good. It's like good things. I think the joke's kind of funny, and I don't know, it's good. Cow and Chicken. I have to admit, I've never seen it. But I have seen it was kind of creepy. Dexter Laboratory. So you're gonna hate me. That's not S tier, but for me it's A tier. I think, don't get me wrong, it's a really good show. To me, S tier. S tier shows have good story building and good like comedy as well. But Dexter Laboratory does have like somewhat of a story, but it's not continuous. It's like, oh, this goes into this episode, but it's funny. Don't get me wrong, it's super funny. Ed and Eddie. Same with Dexter Laboratory. I actually think it's funnier to me, but it's good. Flapjack. Flapjack, don't get me wrong, it's funny. It would be A tier, but those close-ups are so disturbing and so disgusting to me. I have to bring it down to C tier. Okay, let me show you Flapjack like close-ups. Flapjack close-ups. Sorry, I talk to myself when I type. These were vile. I would never let my kid watch this. Like, ugh. For that reason, it goes down to C. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. It's aight. It's aight. It's a bit. It's one of those shows I think is a bit overhyped. The blue dude was kind of annoying. The main girl, she kind of, I don't know. She was alright. And the one, and the, I really don't remember any characters' names. That's how like okay, like I forgot the character's name. I thought it was kind of funny, but I wasn't crazy. Gumball is S tier, top of S tier for now. I think Gumball to me is the funniest of the shows. I think to me there is like, see, I made a thing that you don't just have to be funny, but you have to have good story about S tier. In fact, Gumball actually does have a story, an overarching story that you just don't realize. And I hope they finish that movie or another season because I need that to finish. But Gumball is so funny. Every joke in there was so perfect. Half the jokes I didn't even get as a kid. Like they have a Breaking Bad reference, Mr. White, Mr. Pink, Mr. White, and Mr. Rainbow, or whatever. But and he was in Mr. White. The balloon was literally painted as Walter White. You had How to Brainwash Chill. It was so funny. Mr. Gumball was great. The characters were amazing. I think if there was any character I'd complain about, the banana, like not the Banana Joe was kind of annoying. The one joke about him watching the that is actually crazy, but it's so good. But I think Banana Joe's kind of a weak character, but other than that, the characters are amazing. Johnny Bravo, A tier. The only reason I can't put S tier is because, man, some of those jokes have aged terribly. But it was so funny. Like, those jokes were out of pocket, but good. I think one clip that everyone's seen is, this is the, I think 19th Amendment. The 19th Amendment, they gave women the right to vote. All of a sudden, he pipes up back, why did they go ahead and do that? It's great. Johnny Bravo's funny, but I can't put S tier because it hasn't aged the best. Codenames Kid Next Door, S tier. Really, really fun show. It's funny. Not as funny as like some of the other ones, but I think like how fun of a show it is makes it up there. Camp Lazlo. All I remember was that episode with like the mustard, how to put what way to put on a hot dog. Other than that, I don't remember it. From what I remember, it was pretty bad. Okay, Kale, Let's Be Heroes. This is like I think one of the last shows I actually watched on Cartoon Network, and honestly, A tier, top of A. I think it would have been S tier if they didn't cancel it, cause it needed more time. If they gave it like enough, like maybe like 6 seasons, it could have been great. Cause the animation was amazing, the jokes were pretty good, and the story was awesome. I loved the story. The animation, I have to go back to the animation because the animation was amazing. It stuck out so good. It was beautiful. It was funny. I loved the way I love the like how the jokes were like the characters were really good. Rad, Enid, all of them. Like the backstories that they introduced, the overarching plot of the Shadow Man, who if you don't watch, spoiler alert, skip like 2 seconds. That's okay. That's Kale's father. But wow, if the show's given more time and it abruptly end, it would have been S tier. Maybe one of my probably maybe my favorite show on Cartoon Network, but it was ended far too soon. Powerpuff Girls. I don't think this reboot, this original, A tier. Powerpuff Girls is a great show. Like you cannot doubt it. But there, it's just great. I don't know how to describe it. Just go watch Powerpuff Girls. It's funny. It's action. It's all that. Regular Show is the best show on Cartoon Network to me. Because Regular Show was masterful. First of all, the jokes were hilarious. Some of the funniest. I don't think it's as funny as Middle Gumball, but there's other things that make it better to me. First of all, the story, the jokes were great. Muscle Man, everything was so perfect, and everything just went crazy. The name was the opposite of what the show was, and that's the whole joke. The only regular episode is the final episode of the show, which is undoubtedly the saddest episode. Like the final part of Shrek Show, beautiful. I think all like Mordecai Rigby. I love Rigby's character because at the beginning you hate Rigby. He caused every problem, but you feel bad for Rigby with his whole going back to college, his dad, everything. Mordecai, you kind of slowly start to hate more because of how he's messed up his world. But by the ending, it was perfect for him. He discovered himself. It's just great. Pops, amazing. The story was actually just beautiful. Like some episodes made me cry. The end, what happened to Pops made me cry. Like the show was beautiful. Like a lot of people remember for the jokes, and so do I. But generally, the story was amazing. Even the space thing, like when I went to space, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, regular show episode. I'm not too surprised. But God, in the movie, spectacular. The jokes was funny. The animation, amazing. Another thing I like about the jokes is the jokes are intrusive, but not like the references are you if you know them, you know them, but they're not like this is this show. Go watch it. Great, beautiful show. Regular Show is one of my favorite shows of all time. Top 10, unironically. Samurai Jack is S tier. The only reason I'm not saying it's better Regular Show is because it did. I'm only counting the Cartoon Network parts, which are amazing, but it didn't end on Cartoon Network. It ended on Adult Swim. If you're including the Adult Swim part, maybe tied with Regular Show, but just the Cartoon Network parts, still S tier. Amazing. Action, great. Wasn't super jokey. I think it was the epitome of like action show, and it worked. Steven Universe. I never finished Steven Universe. For what I saw, it was like B tier. My problem is this would be like kind of controversial, but it was a bit too like preachy for me, kind of, if it makes sense. Like as a kid, I will say I care about like the LGBTQ stuff. I'm not one, but I have friends that are, and like I care for it. I get their orientation, but to me, like it kind of like they kind of poked it out in front of some of the plots in places. But I think the animation's generally great. The animation's top tier. But I think to me, I don't know, I just wasn't super interested in the story. It felt kind of, it was just kind of weird watch for me. Because it definitely means more to community, like the LGBTQ community, like people I know. But to me, I don't know, I just couldn't, like, stick with some of the themes and stuff I was going for. But I do get the themes. Actually, I'm moving to A tier. A tier. Oh, not We Bear Bears. I'm put A tier. Maybe like mid. Because the more I think about it, the more I like Steven Universe. Because I think the representation as well. I think the only reason I think it's overhated because of like the whole LGBTQ thing, which I really don't care about. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I've watched one or two like Yuri animes. I haven't watched Yaoi because I don't know. I feel very gay watching that, and it's like fine representation. Like, as long as the show's good, it's good. I don't care about if the character is straight, gay, furries. It's good, and that's the thing. Boma messed up. They had representation without having it be good, and also they changed the characters. See, the more I think about, the more I like Steven Universe. I might rewatch it actually. It was good. Teen Titans Go. Honestly, high B tier. You may hate me, because there was a whole hate train. People hated Teen Titans Go. But looking back at it, as a kid, I would have said F tier. But it's honestly, I'm going A tier. Those jokes, actually B tier because it's a kid show, but those jokes are unhinged. I did not get those jokes as a kid. Especially the movie. The movie was crazy. They literally killed Aquaman and Superman, and they when they're going to bring back the superheroes to bring back their origins because they stopped all of them, they pushed Batman's parents back into the alley, and Robin was smiling. But even then, the show was still crazy. They were sexually harassing Robin with the booty scooty. The shrimps in prime rib thing. Oh, wow. The show was crazy. I can't lie. The show was that tax evasion. And I think some of their best episodes are unironically their parody episodes. Like the serious episode, or one where they like the nut with the Voltron parody. That was really good. Because their animation steps up tons. And Nights Begin to Shine is generally some of the best of TV. And honestly, I think Nights Begin to Shine, those episodes are comparable to like the original Teen Titans. But I think there are some episodes that are just purely terribly garbage. Like the Slade episode, which is not about Slade. But I will say, that one episode where Starfire and Raven become friends with Dr. Light, and then Beast Boy, Robin, and they beat him up. And then the episode where he breaks Kid's Flash leg, and they're all cheering, acting like he did nothing, like Robin, awesome, amazing. That show's unhinged. Teen Titans original S tier. It honestly probably one of my. I'm put bottom S tier. It would actually above Codename Kids Next Door, above Ben 10, above Adventure Time. Actually, no, below Adventure Time. It could have been. This would have been my favorite. Not for one thing. If they just finished the show, it would have been the best. The character's amazing, story amazing. I love all of it. Probably my favorite of all all plots and stuff. Every episode was beautiful. It was so funny, but also worked so well. Not every episode. There were some episodes. Red X was. I'm mad till this day. I don't know if you heard me hit my chair, but I'm mad to this day that they never finished that Red X plot, because Red X was unironically, that was one of my favorite mysteries in the show. Who is Red X? How did he get the suit? How did he break in? It just, oh my god. Okay, finally have Uncle Grandpa. D tier. People are not remembering Uncle Grandpa for what it was. I will say it's slightly better than F tier, but not by much. Uncle Grandpa was weird. He told the kid to take his shirt off in episode 1. Like legit, I think I watched like 6. No, I watched 7. I watched the entire season of the show when it was coming out as a kid, and I thought it was weird. I was like, ugh. I'm like, I'll try to give it a chance. I'll give it one season, but no, I couldn't get into it. It was terrible. It's not as good as people remember. It's not funny. No Good Morning, Bad Morning. But anyway, that's the end of my list. Thank you all for watching. Remember, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. This is all like opinion based, and you can have any opinion you want about whether it's good or bad to you. But yeah, comment your favorite Cartoon Network show down below. See y'all later. Goodbye.